This week's episode is sponsored by Sorb Events Limited. They provide Sorb football, battle tag archery, UV dodgeball, sports days events, inflatable assault courses, plus many more activities coming soon. Ideal for sports teams, presentations, birthday parties, stag and hen parties, corporate events, school, and half-term summer camps, any occasions. Give them a follow and use the code The Good, The Bad and The Ugly Podcast for 10% off your first booking. The Good, The Bad and The Ugly Podcast with Tony Morell. Welcome to The Good, The Bad and The Ugly Podcast with me, Tony Morell. And this week's special guest is Jamie Robinson, aka Jail's Tales. I'm really looking forward to you sharing the good, the bad and the ugly with us. How are we, mate?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Glad to be here. Glad to be here. Buzzing.
Listen, mate, I'm glad we spoke a little bit on social media, and I was absolutely buzzing when
as soon as you said, do you want to come? I thought, yeah, come on, man, let's do it. Yeah, man, let's have it.
I know you've had a couple of other opportunities to go on other podcasts and stuff, and when you agreed to come on ours, and I know this is your first podcast, and I just want to say thank you. And I know you've travelled, a fair way from Preston and stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
And listen, I know you've got a story, a powerful story, and and I know it'll reach out to a lot of people. So,
100%.
Jamie, I just want to start from where you grew up, where you're from, and what school and family life was like.
Grew up in Preston. School was sweet. I had got 9 GCSEs, but out of school, like I lived on an estate. It was a rough estate, like, and we were. But it's when people say nowadays, kids nowadays are this and that. I think to myself, you've no idea, like what we were like when we was younger. We were crazy kids. Like it was. I'm surprised someone didn't kill someone with that. We were wild.
Council estate, like we all do.
Yeah, wild though.
Up in Preston, was it? Yeah.
Yeah. The little estate called Tanston. Wild it was. Wild. Just grew up like a normal kid would on a normal estate. Like nicked cars, nicked motorbikes, broke into everything that was there. If something wasn't down, we nicked it. That's just what it was like growing up. Like from a young age, and it sounds dead bad. Like I remember when I was 10 and me and my mate went around like a nursing home and we went checking the windows and grabbing handbags out the windows. Like I remember taking a purse, running off, buzzing, opening it up, and there was loads of raffle tickets in it. I was like, this was when I was 10. I've been around this all my life. Like we were scallies. Like it was.
That's what you sort of knew when you were growing up on a council estate and that.
Yeah.
Was mum, dad, was they about?
Mum was there. I was born in Sunderland. My dad went to jail and my mum bounced when I was 1 and she moved to Preston and left my dad in jail. I met my dad when I was 18 on a prison visit. Thought he was a solicitor. Nice to meet him. My dad had shut me out when I was 18, so we'll get on to that.
We'll touch on that, like I say. But so, do you have any brothers or sisters in that?
Yeah, I've got 2 brothers, Deece and Joseph, good lads, both straight heads, never been arrested, never been like I'm the black sheep basically, but I've turned it around now. But good upbringing. Just my mum on my own. She tried her hardest. Mum's a soldier. Like she's
played the role of mum and dad.
Mate, unreal woman, man, superwoman. Trust me. Played football. Good at football. 14 to 16. I was at Blackburn Rovers. Like, and it was when my exams were going on. My GCSEs. Like, and we was going to training on a Tuesday, a Thursday, and a match on a Sunday for Blackburn. We had to train all the way to Blackburn. And I remember my mum going to the coaches and saying, "Listen, he's getting home at 2 o'clock in the morning. He's got his GCSEs in the morning. Is there any point keeping him?" The Blackburn coach, he said, "Do not let him. He's got to stay here. Keep him on." Went to jail, didn't I, mate? When I was 15 or 16, like.
We'll touch on that because I know, like, obviously, that was what I was going to speak to you about. I know you were a very talented footballer, and you had a lot to give. And
biggest regret of my life, instead of all the jail, like not being a footballer was. I knew I stood out. Yeah, stood out by a mile,
but travelling from. Obviously, what you're saying there, travelling from Preston to Blackburn, and you're only 14.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking hell.
But they were saying the coach. He said keep him on because he's going somewhere. Like I knew how good I was. Like,
what position did you play?
I was a striker. I was so good, honestly. When I think back now, I think what a missed opportunity. I was so good. Like the coaches used to have conversations like saying somebody else needs to chip in scoring the goals because I was so good.
You mustard, yeah.
And then one night I'm at this is like about 16. I was going playing 5-a-side. When my missus used to watch me, my boy's mum, Emma, right? I've got 19 and 20-year-old boys. It's their mum. She used to walk to football, watch me at football, and on the way back, as we were coming past 2 guys and a bird outside the shop, and he's whistled over at my missus, yeah? I've gone put my missus in the house, grabbed the metal bar off my weight bench, gone round and I've levered these 2 kids. I ended up getting for ABH and common assault. But my first time I ever went to court was when I was 12 for battery.
How old was you when you done that with the bar and stuff?
15, but the first time I was ever in court was when I was 12 for battery. Literally, when I was 12, like first charges. Then it would get worse and worse. The charges were getting worse, like burgling, commercial pubs, bars, chemists, anything like this. Is like 14, 15.
Was you just out of control?
Wild. And when I think back now, I think to myself, out of all the, say, if there was 50 of my mates hanging around, it was always me at the front. If we was nicking a car, it had to be me that was wiring it. If we was going fighting, it was me that had to go first with his front. Oh, so man, honestly, man.
So this council estate you grew up on,
yeah.
And obviously the memories and stuff like that.
Oh,
You know, the memories you say.
Honestly, I love them. I know it sounds bad because we were bad kids, but growing up on a council estate where everyone knows everyone. Everyone's cut from
the same cloth, aren't they?
Literally, everyone's cut from the same cloth. And you can tell different places, different people. Like, you think, you know what, I've been through a bit more because I've been seeing it all, you know what I mean? So
yeah. So obviously, you know, you're saying you were taken to court and stuff. Obviously, your mum and your two brothers and stuff. Obviously, your mum going to court and stuff like that. How was she coping with it?
My mum, like, say 12, 13, 14, 15, when I used to be locked up once a week, twice a week for stupidness, nicking cars, setting cars on fire, all kinds. I was doing all kinds. We were out of control. But my mum tried her hardest. Like, she used to come to court at first, and then it got to the point where she just said, you know what, just fuck you, I'm swearing you or not. I swear or not.
Yeah, of course you can.
She just said, listen, fuck you, I ain't going to bailing you out. And then my auntie started bailing me out and coming bailing me or taking me to court. And
yeah.
She was just, my mum just thought, you know what, I'm not doing it anymore. But
you sort of driven it to the point where she was like,
she just had enough, mate. She was just like,
was she known to the police and that one on early?
Bad, mate. Bad.
All the police knew you.
Like about 10 years later, I remember being in a police station and there was two local bobbies that used to be on the estate. And they both said to me, when they were both in the police station, they turned around and said, when you were younger, we were going to take bets on the estate who was the first person who was going to kill someone, and they couldn't agree because both of them thought it was going to be me. So the coppers told me 10 years later, like, in the police station. So I was wild, out of control.
And was there a gang, like you said? There was
it was like as cringy as it was, like, but we were doing a gang and there was loads of us. And I think to myself now, how are kids going to get my mates, my best mates, and no matter what anyone told me, they were the boys when they were my mates. And when I think to myself, how do kids get out of it now and stop being in them kind of gang stuff? And I just, it's $1 million question. I have no idea. Like, I think back and think I've been through it all. The nearest thing I can get to is that maybe a boxing gym because it teaches you discipline. There's nothing for kids, is there? There's nothing. It's crazy, man.
All the youth clubs I remember growing up, and it was youth clubs and, like you say, boxing gyms and, you know.
But boxing gyms teach you discipline, don't they? So if I did, but other than that,
do you think if you had that father figure or whatever, even though your mum was a good mum,
father figure's a massive thing, yeah, I think,
to guide you and stuff like that.
And like most people grew up thinking, I don't do it, piss my dad off. Like, I didn't have a dad to do that, you know what I mean? My mum was.
She done her best, didn't she?
Yeah, she smashed it. Yeah, she smashed it.
But it's fucking, like you say, it's sometimes you're out of control and it's like, fucking, and it's what you know. And,
yeah.
But it's like, obviously going to, like you said, you were good football. Did you play Sunday League football with your local team, school? And
I played football with all them local thingies. Then I got scouted for Blackburn, and it was just a case of.
How did that feel when you got.
Crazy, like.
Did he come and approach you or your mum?
He approached my mum on the sideline and said, when he finished, can we come have a word with him? And she said, yeah. And he come over and he's like, there's a ticket, Blackburn Rovers scout. I want you to come down and blah, blah, blah. And I just knew how good I was. It's a massive regret of mine. I really.
Did you kick yourself over so
much,
mate?
More than anything. Like, I've done some naughty things in my life, like really bad things to people. And I think my biggest regret is not being a footballer because
you were so talented.
I was so good, honestly, man. I really, really was.
That opportunity you've let get away.
Yeah.
So from being at Blackburn, was there a reason? Was it down to fucking not behaving and stuff?
It was who I was with. It was on the estate who I was mingling with. Like, and I can't blame them because I was the wild one. Like, they were all wild. But I was one of the worst. I was always at the front, like, and now, like, I always say to my son, like, stay at the back of these stuff, man. Don't get involved and try and keep away. Like, he's a good lad, my son. He's never been arrested or gone to jail or anything like that. So, and Blackburn, and then next thing, like I say, with the story, when I was 16 with the metal bar.
Yeah.
Like, I was sat in court. My mum was there. I was 15, thinking I was cool as anything. Like, when I was 12, this is the whole reason I do the jail tales. When I was 12, it was the first time I got locked in court for battery. Then 13, 14, 15, probation officers, youth offending teams, solicitors, family, friends, everybody said to me, you're going to go to prison. I was like, I ain't going nowhere. And then when I went to jail, it was horrendous. Now,
it was a wake-up call.
Yeah, and when I was younger, because like, I'm not big head, but I was a badass kid. I was crazy. Like, it wouldn't have scared me. But if people see prisoners being released from the gates, kids see, maybe they might think, whoa, that's a bit real life shit. Like, you know, and that's the reason I'm doing it. That's the whole reason I was doing it at first. Like, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get to that later on, which obviously will jails, tales and stuff. But Did Blackburn Rovers, did they say this is it? There's fucking no more fucking, they weren't gonna.
Yeah, I was in 100%. I was in. That was
And when you were in court, and they were, it was time
waiting. I was thinking, please, I hope I can get off of it so I can carry on with the football. And then, boom, the group 4 come my way and just grabbed me, and my mum started crying, and that was it. First time.
What was that? The bang down, fucking down to the cells.
Yeah. And
what age was that when you first went to jail?
15.
What was it? Was it Stokekeeper somewhere like that, or
no? Stokekeeper full. I went to Wellington House. Like, should have been the farms.
Yeah,
but the farms were full. Then I was full. It was going to be Stokekeeper. I went to Wellington House. That's right next to there. So I got 4 months due to for common assault and ABH.
But even 4 months at that age, that's a scary sentence.
Horrible. Yeah. Horrible.
Can you remember your first night when you landed?
Yeah, I remember going to sleep. And there's loads of people that say this. Like, I've been in jail 14 years. People who go to jail, if you say you've never cried in prison, you're talking shit. Like, everyone who's been to prison, whether it's been like, it happens. Like, I remember being on the phone, speaking to my family. Like, when you're on the wing, they have like booze like coming out like that, and the phone's in there. And I remember being on the phone talking, and then not talking because I feel like I was going to start crying. And then I looked to the side, people are waiting, so I didn't want to talk, but I didn't want to look that way because I knew I was about to burst out crying. Yeah, mate. Prison breaks you, man. It's not a nice place to go. That's why I do what I do, you know what I mean? So
that was your first sentence. You get out. What
think I'm a gangster, think I'm bad as fuck, like I thought.
Did it not fucking wake you up at all, no?
Fuck me, I thought, do you know what, this is it now, I can do what I want when I want, and it's just, but then boom, straight back in jail, 18 to 30, every Christmas and birthday, and that was game over. Then like two bad charges.
So from that charge, like your first sentence,
yeah.
What was the next? Was it just sort of progressing to next level?
Yeah. Every time I got out, every time I done something, it was always progression, and I thought I was a man and got a bit of reputation, and that boosts your ego, and you think you're the man, and you think you're untouchable, and then we come to when I was 18, the balcony. Do you want to go into that now?
Go on, mate.
I was out drinking, and I was on a flat, and because it was raining, and there was a door and a door there, and my mates kicked the door in, thinking we're going to go in because it's warm and was the empty gaff. As the doors pinged back open, the guys stood at the door. So my 2 mates, the guys come out, and my 2 mates have started fighting with this guy. The guy started getting better to me, my 2 mates. Kind of jumped in, got the guy, and it cringes when I think about it now. Like, and I've got the guy in a choker. I put him over the balcony, and I literally said to him, "Give me a kiss, and I won't drop you." And he said, "No." So I just went boom and dropped him. Like, and when I think about it now, I just think, "What are you doing, man? Like, why would I say that to someone?"
Did you kill the guy?
No. He broke all kinds of bones and all kinds of shit and stuff like that. But like, it's just
attempted murder, basically.
Well, it was an 18. I got found guilty after trial. They charged me with a Section 18 and a attempt robbery. Said if you go, we'll drop both of them charges if you go guilty to a lesser charge, a GBH. I said, nah, fuck that. Run a trial and got found guilty on everything.
Everything, they just found you guilty.
I did it, and I dangled him over the balcony, and then like the second time, the second Section 18, I was in town.
What did you get? What's the first sentence when you've done
5 years. I got 5 years for that.
And you're 18, you just
17, 18, yeah. 5 years for, and it was a big sentence at the time. I was in Morelands when that Sean Mercer and all them landed in there. Like, it was a cat. When you're 18 to 21, you don't get categorised. You only get categorised when you're 21 and above. But Morelands held potential cat A's for 18 to 21, so that's why all of them were on the same wing. You know what I mean? So there was crazy kids on there, and like, you could tell there was like it was a dangerous place where I was when I was young.
Was that not a wake up call for you, or just did you not give a shit?
I thrived off it at the time, 18 to 21. I was loving it. I thought I was the man. Honestly, I thought I was that guy. Like, I was wild. I was fighting every day in jail. I was doing all kinds of stuff. Did you
just not want to get your head down, do your rip, and then just get out?
No. I went for a parole sentence. I got knocked back on my parole. God knows how long I'd done that. Got out. Was out for about a few weeks. I was in town. There was an argument in town. We ended up going down a side street with a couple of people, and my cousin has threw a pint pot, and the butt of the pint pot has hit the guy in the mouth, ripped all his lip apart. But these 2 people stood up in court and said that I put my hand out, shake my hand, and I asked him, I've done the time, I got 13 and a half years for it. I've done my time. I would take the stripes, take the claims, and I would own it. My cousin's already said, listen, I did it. Like, I didn't do it. I got 13 and a half years for money do. I didn't do it. I would own it. I would tell you, like...
2 people stood up and said that you shook his hand and glassed them.
Yeah. And as soon as they bought the glasses at the guy, like a 19-stone bird's come behind me, she's just rocked me, right? And I remember just going down, seeing stars, standing up and saying to my cousin, who done that? And she went, And he went, so I've knocked her out. Like, and it's the worst only time I've ever hit a woman in my life. Literally ever writing And then after the trial, when I got found guilty, there was a Newton hearing to decide whether I kicked her when she's on the floor, when I kicked her in the head, and it found out, yeah, I did kick her. I can't remember kicking her in the head, but I was young, I was stupid, I was drunk, and I was not an excuse. That's what it is, but I got 13.5 years. I didn't even do it. My cousin did it. Like, I would own it and take the stripes now. Like, I admitted injecting heroin and stuff like that. I've no need to lie.
Well, that's what I was going to touch on.
Yeah.
Was the drink and the drugs play a big part of it?
Drink was drink related. All my crimes, everything I've been arrested has been drink
Alcohol,
related.
yeah.
Every time. I don't drink now. That's probably like, I had double vodka, like Dublin and bounce, but other than that, I didn't like.
But obviously, was any drugs involved? Any cannabis, cocaine?
Growing up, like 12 to 16, I worked on a market in town, Dave's Handbags, and I used to go on the morning, 6 o'clock, set the stall up, go to school, after school, come back, shut the stall down. I worked Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. He used to give me a tenner a day. I used to go straight to the dealer, get 4 E's. It's 4 of my mates. We had to take an E every day and go. This was when I was 13, 14, 15. We used to get E'd up and...
You were 13?
Mate, madness, honestly. I can't stress how crazy we were when we was younger. People used to...
It's mad to think, like, now, it's obviously...
But it led to worse things, which we'll come to.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? So
after that sentence, you've done, obviously, for the Section 18, was it? Or
yeah, I got 13 years, 5 years, 13.5 years, 2 years smells. So
from there, you've got a lot of time to think about things and dwell on things.
Yeah.
Do you not think, I'm going to fucking change my ways when I get out here? Or
not really, no.
No?
Nah. I didn't think that. I just think more power, more reputation, and that's what I was thinking.
Is that how you felt?
Yeah,
ego, was it?
Yeah, and it's weird. It's weird. Like, and when I think back now, I think it's cringy. It does my head in, but I've done it. I've learned from my shit, and hopefully I'm through the other side now. Like so. So
when you came out after that, how old was you when you came out?
30. 18 to 30, right the way through.
How's that feel? Christmases, birthdays?
Christmas and birthdays is just another day in jail. People who've been in prison don't even think about Christmas. You get Christmas dinner, but it's just another day you want to get out of the way. You want New Year's Eve to get out of the way, so you start a fresh year, so you're a year closer to going home. That's how it is, like, especially when you're doing big sentences.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Christmas is just another day. Birthday is just another day.
Which jails was you shipped out?
I've done 28 jails.
28 jails?
Yeah. I've been all over. I've done London, Felton, Pentonville, Brixton, Morelands, Ormouth. I've been all over. Strangeways. I've done all over the country. 28 jails.
Is that due to, like, you've just fucking...
When I was young, I was just violent, mate.
Getting shipped out and that?
Oh, every block I've been in, I've done months in blocks. Like, it's...
I bet you've seen some serious shit in there.
Mate, dead bodies all over. I've been like, remember one time in Morelands, I was playing football on the football field, and there was a tackle, and I remember thinking, that wasn't a bad tackle. The kid's rolling around on the floor, and I walked over, and the kid had a Nescafe jar stuck out of his neck, and it was burgers bars and Johnson's, from Birmingham. The kid got lifed off as well for it. It was on camera when he done it, but he done it on the football field. I walked over, and there was just a Nescafe jar stuck out of his neck, because he used to get glass Nescafe jars in Morelands. Stuck out of his neck. The kid got lifed off it as well.
You were playing football? We
was in the middle, like, into-wing football, yeah. Into-wing football, and there was a foul, and I thought, that was a bit over-exaggeration. I go over, and he's dead, man.
Kid's got a fucking...
Dead, finished. Yeah.
I mean, we've had a few people, on the podcast, and they've served jail sentences, and they've said they've seen some fucking scary stuff.
People, you do. People who have done longer than a year have seen some naughty things. Like, it's because you're in prison, like, and that's why when I was doing all the jail, it's prison officers against inmates. That's how it is. And then I think to myself, every day to be a screw, get up every day knowing you're going into prison. The bell's going to be pressed 5 times a day at least. And you're going to be running to people's face being opened up, people being hot watered and sugared, and to be a screw and running, do it every day. You've got to be a badass to do that. Like, so I give the shout out to the screws for going in every day knowing someone's getting opened up, and you're going to have to sort it out when you have to peel someone's face back together and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
We had Sam Samworth on, one of our earlier episodes, and he was a screw, Strangeways and Forest Bank and stuff like that. And he said sometimes there'd be 4 screws to a couple of hundred on a wing or whatever.
Madness. Give me goosebumps thinking about it. Like, it's crazy. I've seen some mad shit, man.
I said to them, how do you control people who are in jail for crimes like violence, or for some dangerous people? Do you know what I mean?
Literally, man.
And like you're saying, full of sugar and all that.
I've done it all the time. Like, if you've been, I've done a lot of jail, so I've seen everything that could be seen. Like, and not a nice place to go. That's why I try doing what I'm doing now, trying to tell kids, they don't waste your time. You're going in there, man. You know what I mean?
But like you say, did you have tough times with the screws? And
it's the screws against prisoners when you're in there. That's how it is. Like,
there was none of them that were. You
get the ones that are decent and all right. Like private jails, you get the officer a little bit better. Like Loudon Grange, I was there for 3.5 years. and like we could put screws in headlocks and stuff like that because we knew him that long, like we've been on the same wing. We've been the same wing for 2-3 years. You know what I mean? You get used to him and you can have a laugh and stuff like that. So,
So when you got out at the age of 30,
yeah,
did you think, right, I'm going to get on the straight and narrow here? And
did I thought, right, who can I get a weight of drugs off? And I started selling drugs, heavy, hard, big amounts.
Was you grafting, was you, or
heavy, making big amounts of money.
When you first got out?
As soon as I got out, within a week, I was like, ate hard, like, and I was, because I'd just done 14 years, no one said nothing, and I knew that's how it was, like, and I knew I could do what I want, where I want, whenever I want, like, and it taking the piss, like, I've done some bad things, but when you're in that world and you're doing that kind of stuff and people chasing money down and stuff like that, it's going to happen. That's just how it is. When I think back, I think, I'm forever apologising to people when I bump into them in the street. I'm like, I apologise for doing this, I apologise for doing that, like, it's just one of them.
I think as you get older, you sort of realise some of the shit that you do as a kid, or when you're younger and you're a bit immature. And as you get older, as an adult, you do become mature. And when you have children and stuff, and you think,
my children changed your life, 100%, man, 100%. Because I remember going to jail, like when I've got 19 and 20-year-old boys now. When my 20-year-old was 6 months old and my 19-year-old was in a belly, I went to jail and got out when they were 13 and 14. They used to come every single week and visit me, and I thought I had a bond. And then when my 2 girls and my little boy come along, I realised I didn't have a bond with the boys as much as I had with the girls. So I've made that up with my boys. I love all 5 of my kids. Like, I've got 2 grandkids, 38, so yeah.
Your granddads as well, mate?
2, mate, yeah. I had a baby a week ago. My little grandson, Cruz, is called.
Oh, so you fucking...
Yeah. But when I was selling the big amounts of drugs, I was also hard on heroin. Like,
was you using as you were grafting?
Deep on heroin, like bad, injecting it.
Yeah.
18 months ago, I was injecting it. 18 months ago, I was injecting heroin. I was going around shops. I was rock bottom. I was nicking bacon and loads of meat from shops, going into the gym where I used to train when I was massive, and I was sucked off going into the gym with a bag of meat, saying to the guy behind the counter, John Bridge, listen, I've took this off somebody for a debt. Can he give us a tenner for it? And they looked at me and thought, yeah, there's the tenner. Go and keep the meat. And just like, I was rock bottom, mate, literally.
Fuck me, mate. So 18 months ago, you were
injecting heroin
on
hard,
the gear and that, and
big time, mate. Yeah, big time.
You know, listen,
big
mate.
Big time.
Anybody who can turn a life around, especially on hard drugs, on with alcohol or anything.
Yeah.
My hat goes off to you. You know what I mean? Because
man.
Looking at you now and with what you do, what we'll get onto later on. Fucking credit, mate.
Appreciate
to even open up to speak about that, because a lot of people hide behind and
it gets worse in a minute. Like,
listen, mate, you share whatever you want to share, but
man, of course.
Even opening up about, you were addicted to fucking drug, heroin and stuff like that, mate.
Bad though, man. I'd do anything to get a tenner. Like, literally, I've robbed my family. I've robbed my brother's Apple laptop thing. Went and pawned that in. I've robbed everything. I've robbed my family. Then do you know what? Yeah. I feel for people on drugs because that's it's addiction. It's addiction. It's just.
And obviously, you probably lost relationships
massively.
And
my kids' mum and all that.
As well.
Yeah, my kid's mum, that broke down. Like, when I was doing it all, I was sneaking out in the middle of the night, 2 o'clock in the morning, taking the car keys, taking a bank card, going injecting heroin, pulling back up onto the front 4 hours later, and she's like, "Where the fuck have you been?" And I'm just like, "I've only been out 10 minutes." She's like, "I've been up 4 hours, blah blah blah." So. But my kids' mums, that's probably what broke my relationship with my kids' mum, brought my family to pieces. Like, I was, because I loved her to pieces. I love my kids. I've got 3 kids of her. Yeah. And the drugs were like, she just had enough. The drugs had broke her. Like,
was you trying to hide the fucking fact?
Oh, mate.
I mean, obviously,
I was hiding everything. That's what you do. You hide everything. You don't give a shit. You just, all you're thinking about is not getting caught and getting your next fix. No matter how you get, if you know how you got to get the money, you will get that money. Like, it's the tough one. It's not a nice thing.
Obviously, your missus isn't, she was onto you that you were using and that, yeah.
Yeah. Like, she had an inkling, but then she was all over it. Like, she wasn't stupid. Like, she's the super mum. Like, Abby Ellen, she's called on all social media. Everyone, just so you know. Yeah, man, she's a good girl, man.
Do you still have a relationship now?
Yeah, I see him every day. Like, my kids, I try to have them like 5 times a week. I know I'm a good dad. I'm a good dad no matter what anyone says. I'm a shit hot dad. I'll provide for my kids. I love them to pieces. I do whatever I can for them. But yeah. So
from when you were using and all that, did it ever come on top for you in regards to, people in that game, grafting and all that?
I've put a video out. I put the video out on my YouTube, right? I remember one time I was rough. I'm rushing around trying to find gear. I remember getting some gear off somebody. remember grabbing some pins, going around to my mates, and when you're injecting gear, you pull the pin back and you can see blood, then you know you're in the vein, right? I remember saying to some guy, Ronnie, find a vein, is the blood there? Ronnie, have you got it? Ronnie, have you got it in? I'm rough, Ronnie, find the vein. Pick my phone up, I rung my kid's mum and I shared everything, mate, and I only owned up to it about fucking years later and said, listen, I was injecting it, they all thought I was smoking it, and she heard me saying, try to find the vein, so...
Was you injecting straight from the off, or was you smoking it?
Smoking at first, smoking, and then I was smoking 2-3 bags, went doing nothing, so I started injecting it, like, crazy.
So you were grafting first, and then
making big money, and I wanted to stay away.
And then you just fucking smoke it all,
it disappeared, it always, like...
From that, was the repercussions, because anyone who you got it off, was there any fucking comebacks off it?
Bits and bats, but nothing I wasn't like, about, like, I was still...
And then from there, did you end up back in jail?
I did a little sentence in 2020 for... I had a drink again. I didn't have a drink for years, man. And then I had a drink fighting again at a pub, like, and I got done for an ABH, 2 assaults on police workers ambulance workers I can't even remember.
You were fucking...
I'm an arsehole, honestly. I don't drink now. I try not to have a drink, like, literally, because I'm a dick, man.
Alcohol is massive in it.
It should be banned. Alcohol should be banned. Alcohol's a fucking drug. I don't care what anyone says. Alcohol is a drug and it should be banned. It's dangerous. It's rude.
It's like I've heard people say the government and stuff charge it's a fucking drug.
They do.
It ruins people's lives.
It should be banned.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I like a bevy myself and stuff, and it's one of them. But
it's all right if you do it in moderation, but if you get pissed and you can't remember, I like to go to the pub and have 1 pint and not get pissed. I might as well have a pint of water. That's how I used to think. So fuck it. If I'm going in, I'm going in. Like we're having it.
All in or not?
Oh mate, I'm a dickhead, honestly.
So you've done a little sentence in 2020. You were saying,
yeah.
Back, how long did you do there?
Done about 12 months. I think I got 2 years. In 2019, it was when the COVID was on and jail was on lockdown.
That must have. A few people said, we've had on. They said that COVID was fucking.
Didn't get out. Everything got passed under through your door and through your hatch and.
It was just locked. 24. Was it 24 hour bang up? Was it?
Yeah. Literally, you was not allowed out.
Did you have a telly and all on yourself?
Telly, yeah, but it was proper. Like you come to the cell with like full outfits on and gloves and give you a meal and.
Was you banged up with someone or was you on your own or?
Both. I remember being padded up with some guy and then on my own in the cell, but.
Being padded up, I mean, 24, I mean,
do you know what,
you've been in the block and all that and stuff, so you probably, you've dealt with it and you can deal with that, but.
You know what it is? This is another story, yeah. Do you know if you've been in prison, right? Anyone, people who've been in jail be able to relate to this. If you've been in prison with somebody and you're padded up with them and you've been chilling with them for like longer than a year and you go around the wing grafting and you want to graft this and that and everything you do you share and they're coming to, you've been longer in with them for 12 months and then one of you get moved, cry your eyes out, mate. It's a killer. It's oh, mate, honestly, I've mentioned it to a few people like, yeah, it is, that's how it is. Like, if you're having it with someone for time and they get moved, you're like, oh, God. But honestly, mate, I swear down, anyone who's been to jail will know what I'm on about.
It's a friendship that you've built up and a trust and all that as well. It's a bond, that's the right way to use.
Yeah. I remember in 2014, that's the first time I ever tried the methadone. I was padded up with a kid from Swansea called Alex Jones Bongo. And I was padded up with him and he used to go to the meds hatch, come back, and then fall asleep. And I'm like, how the fuck you falling asleep? He's like, I'm on methadone. I'm like, what the fuck's that? He's like, I'll bring some back tomorrow. So he's come back the next day with his mouth, spat in the cup, give me off, and then finish it off from there. That's when it started, man. That's how it.
So people who land in jail, obviously, we know it's quite what's the name, but for you never tried fucking methadone. This kid's coming,
never, nothing.
You think fucking hell, he's taking the knock there. How did you take the knock? And then the next day you're having a go.
Guzzling it out of his mouth. Basically.
And what was you like then? Was you like?
I only did it a few times. Then I was due out, and I got out, and I remember it started. I was having loads of Subutex. And then for a while, and then I remember, that's for a month or two, and I remember thinking, I've run out, I need to go and find some. So I went and knocked on some guy's door, and he's like, we ain't got none, but I tell you what, if you have a few lines of this, it'll get rid of your roughness. And that's when you're in like madness. I tried a little bit of heroin in jail with the same guy, but I can't really remember like how I felt after it. But when I got out, and I was rough off Subutex, and then the guy went, try this. As soon as I tried the heroin, game over.
It just fucking sent you down.
Game over, mate. Game over.
So when you were out, 2021 was it? But after 2019,
21. Yeah.
Where did your life go from there?
They're saying that England played Italy in the Euros.
Oh, in the final, yeah.
11th of July 2021. But I can't remember anything from the 52nd minute, right? I remember the whole pub going up, fighting, right? some kids come behind me, bottle me, right, and he's run off. And I'm like, me and my two sons have chased after him, this guy outside the pub. We caught him around the front of the pub. I knew him as well. We started laying into him, and my 17-year-old at the time said to me, I put him in a choker hold, and I remember him going limp. As he'd done that, me and my 18-year-old stood there with ashtrays, glass ashtrays, just taking pot shots. And then we went over the top, went too far, but the kids ended up going from the pub, going and grabbing his mate, grabbing a gun, coming back to my mum's house. I'm behind the door, crouched down, having a fag. My mum picked me up from the pub after the thing
She
again.
found out about what the carry on.
She said I was pissed at me, so she took the key out the door. I couldn't get out, right? So I was wanting to go out to the pub. And there's a knock at the door, right? And I'm crouched behind the door having a fag. I'm like, who is it? And then it's the police. I looked at my mum, looked back, and I remember my mum going like that, right? But as soon as she went like that, it was bang, bang, I started shooting from my front door with a kid who had glass with a 9mm through the door.
The door or just shooting through the door?
The door was locked, my mum locked the door because of the key, right? So they started shooting through the door, right? The first bullet went through my arm. I'm going to show you, in fact, yeah. The first bullet went through my arm there. And I remember the stun, I remember the bang, yeah, right? As soon as he said the police, I looked at my mum, she looked out the window, looked back, and he had a bang, and my ears were stunned, and I didn't know what was going on, right? And I remember looking at the wall, and I remember seeing little red splats like that. I looked down, my arm was hanging up, and my mum went, I remember her mouth being saying the shooting, so I've kind of like moved out of the way, and she's like, Jamie, you need to stay awake. I'm like, I am. And I remember the last I remember thinking my breath went, I went, my mum, my breath. And I woke up fucking in a coma with a...
You were shot in the arm? Was you shot elsewhere? Where else was you shot?
Through my stomach. A scar all the way down there, bullet all there, bullet around there. I woke up with a shit bag on. I had a shit bag 3 months ago, mate. Literally a shit bag. I was something attached to my dick, so I couldn't piss myself. I had a shit bag on. They said the piss one we can take out, but the shit bag you have to stay. I had it for 2 years. I had a shit bag for 2 years after the shooting. What else can I tell you about shooting?
You were in hospital for how long? You were lucky to fucking survive.
Yeah, mate. I remember being in the coma. I remember coming out of the coma, and there was 2 on response to either side of me. And my mum said to me, the nurse, the second he opens his eyes, you tell him he's done nothing wrong. Because if he wakes up and I'm response to it, he's going to flip. So as soon as I opened my eyes, she went, your mum told me to tell you you've done nothing wrong. And I'm like, what the fuck? I clicked on. I thought, wow.
Was you cuffed? Or did you go down?
No, I was sweet.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking to myself, I've been shot, and England lost on penalties. And my mum slipped on the blood and broke a hip, like, because it was that bad. Like, there was the blood.
At home where the
yeah, right outside my mum's house. But they couldn't come to my mum's house, like, and I've said this a million times, like, I've never, like, I took the 13.5 years for my cousin to charge. Remember I told you about the charge? I kept my mouth shut and I took that charge and I just rolled with it and went with it, yeah. Like, the day I got out of hospital, social services.
How long was you in hospital for?
Few weeks, 4 weeks or something like that, right? And then I remember the day I got out of hospital. When I woke up, my mum had already put a statement in. She was stood outside of me. My mum was a law-abiding citizen. I expected to do that. Right? So there was on me hard. The police were trying to say, like, we need a statement. And then the day I got out of hospital, me and my kid's mum and my 2 little girls, and she's pregnant with my son, get a phone call of social saying, listen, Abby, if you and the kids do not go into Newcastle, I didn't know at the time, they said, you'll not leave Preston, we're going to come and lift the kids off you. And I went, can I go? And they went, well, you can't go in case the government follows you. So this is there also. For 7 months, my kids and my missus were in a yonder. I weren't even allowed to know where they were. First day at school my kids went to, I weren't even allowed to know a single thing. I had to go to Skemersdale every Wednesday to go see my fucking kids in a contact centre. Yeah, man. And the social worker come to us and said, listen, we've got the paper home, said, if you do not comply with the police, you are not getting your kids back because it's your criminal ways that have made this happen, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't see who shot me. So I just turned around and said, yeah, and like, I've gone against the code that I've lived by all my life. Like, I took the 39 charge. But when I wake up out of the coma, my mum's put a statement in, my kids have been taken off me. The fuck your gangster lifestyle, I don't give a shit. I want my fucking kids back, I want my family back. So yeah, I stood up in court. Mum was behind the screen when she gave her evidence, yeah. I stood up in court, but I didn't say who shot me because I couldn't see who shot me because it was behind the door. Yeah. Right? It turned out there was only three yards away from my door when they shot through the door, right? Like, my kids got taken off me, but like, it happened on the 11th of July. I was in a coma. The 12th of July, the same night, the police have come to me. The police have come to my family and said, listen, who could have done this? My family have explained, listen, he had a fight with this geezer in the pub last night, give his name, and then a few weeks before that, he ended up robbing 25. I robbed 25 grand off my boss, yeah. Right, my boss at work, he was a good guy. He gave me a job, he looked after me, He told me to ask me 25 grand to me other mate, like my close mate. And that's another regret because Mickey Will's a good guy, man. He's a proper. Just call me Marshall on Instagram if anyone ever wants to look. And I was supposed to pass 25 grand first thing, and it was wrong. My missus went booking all. They were going quickly, and I bounced with my mate's money. Biggest regret of my life. I'll pay him back when I get it back, like so. But yeah, I was gutted. But
do you reckon that could have had that? Well, obviously the fight you're saying maybe.
He bottled me and run off, and I chased after him, give him a good idea, and he just come and paid someone whatever amount of money to shoot from my mum's door, knowing I had my own gaff somewhere else. He's come to my mum's door, risked my kids, got my kids taken off. So yeah,
kids were there or something.
Mate, that's why they took my kids off me. They said because if you are around the kids and the government comes to finish you off, the kids are at risk. Yeah, man, yeah. So like, and as mad as it sounds. I got shot on the 11th. I was in a coma. He got pulled in, and he's the one like on the 12th of July statement. He's in the cells going, "That's Jamie attacking me. He's attacking me." Like so, he'd put me in for a start. Yeah, I didn't put no names in. I got my kids taken off me. I'm not going to turn around and say, "Mum, fuck you." I'm not. I mean, I'm not. You can't come shoot through my mum's door and think I'm going to just roll with it. Everything's sweet, not get involved. And you can't shoot from your mum.
Your mum, obviously yourself, you've nearly lost your life. Your mum's obviously, she's fucking broke her hip. Did she make a full recovery and stuff? And,
she's sweet now, but she's like, someone shot at the side of her. She's gonna fuck with your brain, innit, man? She's like, she said, the surgeon said to me when I later seen him, 5 minutes longer, game over. You would have been dead because I lost 5 pints of blood and you've only got 8 or something like that, maybe. But he said to me, but I woke up with a shit bag and I was like, I wish they would have killed me. I was gutted. I couldn't.
Did you think that was you for the rest of your life? Did you think?
Mate, honestly.
I mean, now, obviously, looking back, you've done some crazy shit and that. And
do you know what it is, though? Just quickly, I was playing five-a-side. I was in net and I've spun round, right? And I've gone to stop the ball and I've smashed into the crossbar, the low crossbar, right? And I remember putting my hand there thinking, wow, there's pure blood there. I thought, what the fuck? I remember feeling in my shit bag and thinking, stole my bag and thinking, what's that in there? That's not right. So I've pushed home. I've gone home. I've gone home. My guy started crying. Said the kid's mum, listen, bell ambulance quickly. So ambulance turned up. Gone. They said, listen, 6 inches of your bowel has come into your bag. Smashed into the crossbar. He said, we're going to reverse it. I was on the waiting list for 2 years and they were saying cancer patients at first. I couldn't even argue with that.
Yeah, no.
Luckily, I banged, like, blessing in disguise, mate. Blessing in disguise. And he went to me, listen, because you're on the waiting list, we're going to reverse it right now. So I was like,
your bowel was basically
6 inches of my bowel was in my bag.
In your bag?
Outside of my body, in the bag. It's fucking wild, mate.
I mean, after, this is me, and I don't mean to playing football after you've just been shot, you've got a bag on and all that.
I was that good, though. That good, I could play with shit bag on. I swear down. I swear down.
And then the next thing, you got half of your bowel, and
yeah.
But so from there on, sort of, your head's gone to, with your kids and stuff.
I was done. Like the social services put me through some serious heavy work, like 2 hours a day for months. Going into social services, speaking to criminal thingies, psychologists, mental health, gambling people, alcohol, drugs people. It was hitting me hard. And you know what? The first thing when she was away with the kids, they used to come and do hair strands, right? Because I got a bald head. He used to say, right, we have to take your chest out. I remember one day they come and done the drug test and it was riddled with heroin, yeah, and I didn't even own it. Like, if anyone's got any problems with social services and they're on your kids, if you put all your cards on the table and own your shit and try and make out like you're going to sort your shit out, they give you a chance, social services, right? But they come to one day, they've done a hair strand, and they come back and it was just riddled with heroin, and I'm like, she's like, I thought he was off it. I'm like, and I think so. The next time, a couple of months later, right, I'm right, we're coming at 9 o'clock in the morning. So I go round to my son's best mate, he's like a son to me as well, Kieran. I go round to his gaff in where he lives, right? I'm like, Key, listen, you're going to have to clip your hair off your leg for me, mate. Like, I had a shit bag at the time, right? So he's cutting his leg. Like, what do you mean? So I'm cutting his leg hair in the front of his house, yeah? And I'm ramming it in clip bags, little baggies, right? I'm ramming all these hair in the baggies, yeah? And I go back to the gaff and I just literally open the clip bags and just released all the hair down there, yeah, knowing they were going to come down here. So she's like, right, you're not going to bother. I'm going to check hair off your chest. I'm like, I've just been shot. You're not putting your hand any scissors near me when I've got a stormer bag and I've just been shot. So she's rung the office. The office went, as long as you can see him doing it, it's all right. I'm like that. Caught for some, put him on 2 little pieces of paper. Come back riddled with weed, no heroin at all, mate. I was fucking buzzing. I was like, it's in.
So you were still...
I was lying.
Yeah,
you
were still in denial. You were still using that.
Yeah, in denial, man. In denial, mate.
But then from there on, where did life take you from there? Then did it just fucking the journey that you?
It woke me up. Shooting woke me up big time. Like it's I've seen the other side of it now. Like my mum and my brother. Like my brother turned up 5 minutes later. And his missus saved my life, server, by wrapping my arm up. Like the doctor said, they would have been dead if she didn't wrap it up because she's a paramedic. Actually, a paramedic. They were 5 minutes away. They rocked up to the house 5 minutes after. And then the armed response said they always let the ambulance come in for a couple of hours while they searched every room and made everything was clear and so on and so on. But yeah, it's made me see the other side of life. I see my family struggling and having to go to court, and I'm not give a shit about me going to court. Like, and do you know what it is? Yeah, 2 years ago, I would have 100% called me a grass. I would have said I would have called me a grass 2 years ago because I stood up in court. But when the shoe's on the other foot and my kids get taken off me, and my mum puts a staring in. You shoot through my mum's front door. It is what it is, man. I don't give a shit. That's how it is.
You know, I know it's that rule, innit? You know what I mean? But like you just hit on there. Fucking, you know, your mum could have been killed.
My kids could have been there.
And I get that, you know,
literally.
when kids are involved, and I know your kids weren't there that night, but
they could have been. They could have been. They could have been.
That's the flip side. I think they could have been.
Yeah.
But you know, for you to.
I remember saying to my mum when I come out, I said, "Mum, why did you put it on there?" She went, "I was telling you, got the masks." It was too late. They started going through the doors. So. Madness.
And now, like your mum, like you said, your mum's scared. You know, any bangs?
Nah, mum's like every single crime I've ever committed in my life. My mum knows. I to tell her everything. Like
you're just honest with her.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course, she's a wicked mum. Honestly, she's been through. I've put her through so much shit. All the jail, 14 years in jail, been shot, all the heroin, robbing, everything that wasn't nailed down. Still stands by me. And she's now like, come on, yeah, I know you've got this now. Let's go. And she knows about how I am and that I'm in a good place at the minute. And like, because you see the heroin thing, like, first thing heroin takes is your emotions. Your emotions go, like, and I promise you don't have emotions. That's why you smoke heroin to forget about this and that. Everything. Yeah, but it also takes your mojo and all stuff like that and all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, for example, it takes your mojo. If I was walking through town and I was on heroin and somebody banged into my shoulder, yeah, I wouldn't say anything. I'd keep my head down. Now, if they banged into me, you better be apologising at the same time as me. Like, it's like, but that literally takes your mojo, your emotions. Like, as soon as I come off heroin, there was lights and feelings and sounds, and I was like, you know, it is.
Because when you take that,
yeah, it blocks everything out, man. You don't think of no one. You're not asked about your family. You're not asked about your kids. You just want the next fix. That's how it is.
If you don't mind me asking, so you started taking it, was it to blank? Everything that had gone in the past, or was it just?
I don't even know. I tried it in jail, and it was just a nice feeling.
And that
fuck knows, I don't know. It could be to do with something about my past or jail, but I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? I don't know.
And it was the first time in jail you tried it, and from then on.
Yeah.
So obviously now, you know, you're turning your fucking life around, mate, and you know it's great to see, and you know, you've got children, you've got, you know, family back, and you know, on side and that, and you've got to take a little bit of credit from considering shit that you've been through. You've probably put them through as well. You know what I mean?
I put them through all kinds, mate. Honestly.
But it takes a bigger man to own it.
Yeah, I do. If somebody asks me a question, I'll just give it off the dome. The first thing that comes to mind, I don't tell how it is. Like I didn't say I'm injecting heroin because I smoked it. Like I was injecting heroin 18 months ago. Like that's how it is. I just tell it how it is. I don't know how to do it any other way. You know what I'm saying?
You're honest, mate. And listen, I think honesty goes a long way. And you know, a lot of people seem to you can put 10 pence worth on it, but when really you're being honest and you're being truthful. Do you know what I mean? And this podcast, this episode might help people out there who have had these struggles. And
mate, the amount of people that message me in my inboxes, I get thousands a week. Like I'm telling you now, like from jail tales, thousands of people, like and people asking me like, I'm in court on this date and I'm doing this, or I feel down in your videos have cheered me up. And can I talk about the WhatsApp group quickly as well?
Well, we're going to talk about the WhatsApp group toward not far from this, but obviously with the path that you're on now, and you know you turn your life around, and with what you're doing, you're wanting to help people. You've got people back on board. Your kids are in your life, and I don't think they were out of your life, you know, to a degree. But what you're doing now, you know, you're trying to steer kids away.
I really am
from landing in these prisons,
I really am. You
know, it's great.
You don't want to do it. You're going, even just the police cells break you. You do a couple of days in them police cells, and you're a young lad, and you think you're bad. Go and spend a couple of days in a police station, and they break you.
Yeah,
they break you. The cells break you, but like.
So when you come out, and we're going to get onto jail sales because you know jail sales is like it's massive on social media. You know, on YouTube, on Instagram, and you not confront people. You see welcoming people when they come out of jail, or they've been in court or whatever, and you're just giving people an outlook of obviously.
I'm trying to show every aspect of every single little thing. Like I'll go and do a video on some guy. I'll go, I'm in for non-payment fines. I want kids to know you pay like you can be put in court for anything. You go to jail for anything. You fuck around.
Different scenarios.
Yeah, I want to try and get capture every little single thing you can get arrested for, go to court for, and do this and that. Like, but
I know we've seen. There was one the other day I watched with our kid, and I know all the time you always ask the people. You always say, "Look, it's from our social media channel. Listen, we'll blank it out if you want and whatever." And there's a couple of people who just fucking. And you can see that being filmed, and they start turning take. Where
you're on about the geezer with glasses, aren't you? Outside the Crown Court, mate. Oh man, there's no need for that. Did you see when he clicked onto like the camera? But how old the camera there? Like,
so you can see.
I told you. I do try and hide it a tiny bit, but it's in front of me. Like,
you'll ask them and you'll explain to them. But
it takes me a second, and I can start getting to it. Like as soon as they can speak to me for longer than 5 seconds, I know I'm gonna have a conversation because I'll pull them in easy. Like I'm quite good with the way I speak. You know what I mean?
But then what you're saying there. It's like you're saying non-payment of fines.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do
Everything.
it. And then the next thing, because they've swerved it.
Yeah, they'll throw you in jail for 28 days for non-payment of fines.
Yeah, well, exactly.
You take the piss, they'll throw you in jail for 4 weeks and said, you know what, sit in jail for 4 weeks.
So, and then you're giving them that, showing kids to pay the fines. What are you, assault,
everything,
drugs,
there's all kinds
whatever.
of things.
There's so many, like you say.
It's like a genre and a note, and it's a mad thing to know about. It's not a good thing to know about. But when it comes to crime, people can tell me, like if somebody could come on my live and speak to me, within 3 questions I could tell whether they're talking shit. If they say they've been to jail, literally I'm so clued up about crime and stuff like that. And I'm just trying to spread that. And honestly, I'm so clued up. I just want to spread a bit of awareness. Show kids, listen, you fuck around and you're gone, mate.
Listen, you've lived it, you know what I mean? And I think it's great with what you've, everyone has a story, and your story. Yeah,
everyone has got a story. Everyone.
And what your story,
that's right.
You've lived it. You've not, you're not full of you're not full of shit. And when we spoke from the outset, you said to me, I'll do it. I'll come on the podcast and all that. And for me, that's, you have that understanding that.
Straight off the bat, but you know what? Give me time and a place.
Platform and that,
yeah, of course, man. Of course. If I can help anyone, I'll help anyone. That's how it is. I'm a good guy and I'm a reformed guy. I've been jailed for 3 years, not been nicked for 3 years. I'm a good guy. I promise you I'm a good guy.
And that's a good thing. So how did jail tales come up? Was you away?
I was sat somewhere one day and I thought to myself, do you know what? One of these days I'm going to go and video prisons out. And I sat in it for about 2 weeks.
Was you thinking about, was it an idea that just came to your head?
Coming to your head, and then went to Preston Prison, done a couple of videos, and they went for like one of them hit 14 million in like 6 weeks or something like that, and they all started hitting millions. Like, and I just remember thinking, oh man, I would have got. The first thing I thought was money. I'm thinking, I'll smash this. I'm getting rich here no matter what. And then as time goes on, people coming to me with their problems. Like I'm a mental health worker, I'm a social worker, I'm a drug worker, I'm a flipping solicitor, I'm everything. I swear to God, if I showed you my inbox, you'd be like, you're fucked. Like I get thousands of messages a week of people asking me for advice about what do I do about this and that. Honestly, loads. But like people always like, have you not been? No one smacked you when you come out. I'm not going to get smacked. I'm going to try and bring you away and speak to the guys. If you don't want to be on camera, I'll pull the camera away. If you don't want to talk, I won't. You have to talk like, but don't come out and be on it.
You've got to obviously approach them, and you've got to, and then you get good content by it. And then obviously if they come on board and they're like, yeah, I'm happy to film, or listen, do not film, and you go, fair enough, Sarge.
And everyone's like, you need to ask them first. I don't want to ask them first. I want to get them coming through the gate, over the gate, so kids can do. I wanted to see that moment. People don't see that moment. And no one in the whole wide world has thought, I'm going to go and video prisoners. I'm going to go and video prisoners. No one's thought that in the world apart from me. I was going to, I'll deal with him, man. That's all it is, literally.
And it's just growing and growing by the day.
Crazy.
I watch the videos and that, and it is some characters, because listen, we're all human.
Everyone's got problems. Everyone's got issues, man. It's just what it is. Like people have dark days. People have, but you know what I mean? There's a couple of, I've seen quite a few where some of them like fucking might be, it's a friendly face. They come out the gates, and some people don't. Sometimes when people come out them gates, they've got people there to greet them, and do you know what? Yeah, like say I go to a jail, like say I went to Alt Course, and I chat to people behind the door. You open the wooden doors. I'm like, how many's coming out today? She's like 4. So 3 will come out. 20 minutes later, 1 will come out. So I know the one's on the VP wing is been on the sex offender wing. So I know but I've still got to speak to them as normal, because. Like, and people have commented underneath, his name's this, he's a sex offender, blah, blah, blah. But me saying behave, you know what I mean? Don't touch another fucking kid or something like that, you know what I mean? So I speak to people the same.
Yeah, do you know what, saying that? Because people don't know that, do you know what I mean? So what you're explaining, that's how you do your content and that. You speak to the prison officers behind the door before they come out, and you contain yourself. I mean, we all don't like nonsense, you know what I mean, and the stuff like that, and sex
Mate,
offenders.
do you know what? Yeah,
you know
check this out. I went to Barlini in Scotland, right? Mate, I was outside Barlini and I got a couple of videos, right? And the next thing you know, a prisoner come flying past me on his own about 20 minutes later, and I thought to myself, you're a dodge, you. I went, yeah, mate, and he went, I've got a 6-hour journey, I can't wait. So I thought I would give it a minute, yeah, and I thought that he's going to be waiting at the bus stop. So I walked down to the bus stop, yeah, and he stood at the bus stop. I went, mate, listen, I'm filming you. I want the video. I've come over to Scotland. You're going to video me. So he started to say, no, I'm not. I walked back towards the jail. Now, when you walk back towards Barlini, there's a row of shops and it was rough as fuck. There was loads of people. I said, mate, I'm going to shout you a sex offender if you want to go. He turned around, he's gone, right, I'll do the fucking, done the video, mate. It turns out he was flipping, he'd been raping a 13-year-old disabled girl and he'd had thousands of indecent images. So I'm glad I kind of chased him because I outed him, but it's like I've got all my...
But the old you probably would have...
Mate, I would have...
Do you know what I mean?
Loads of times, 2 years ago, there's loads of people I would have just like, but now I've got...
But look what you're doing, the journey that you're on and what you're creating.
Yeah, I've come a long way, mate, honestly. I've come like, there's certain instances where I've been put in positions where I thought to myself, 2 years ago, I would have just levered you right now. Like it happened a couple of weeks ago. 2 guys in the van and he kind of running his mouth a little bit. I remember just stood at the door thinking, I've got a clean shot on you, Ian. Like 2 years ago, it would have been game over. But I've just learned to calm myself and think, wow. And that's I've got done for 2 Section 18s, yeah, on my record. As the law stands now, they scrap the IPP and bought the 2 striking. If you get done for 2 Section 18s, it's 2. You get done for 2 Section 18s, you're automatic life. I've got 2 on my record now. So I've got all my temper, you know what I mean? Literally. The law stands now, 2 Section 18s, the judge will give you a tariff, automatic life, you get a tariff. I've already got 2 on my record. Imagine if I got third. I've got to keep my cool. Like
of course you haven't.
You know what I mean? And I know the risks, I know the dangers, because prisons... But I've been done 14 years in jail. I've been in the worst heroin dens that you could ever think of. Like, I don't give a shit who comes out. And
look where you are now, though, mate. Jamie, look at you now, though. You're thriving, you're doing well. Yeah. You know, you're on a journey. You've got a great platform. You're trying to help people. Yeah. You know, and this is what we're going to get onto, what we spoke about before we came on. You know, you set up a WhatsApp group for people, helping people who are struggling. Like you're saying, that your inbox is open. You know, and listen.
There was a girl like called Holly. She messaged me saying her best friend was found hung a week ago. Blah blah blah. And I thought, you know what, just because of the platform I've got, because I had a lot of
listen, mate.
I turned around and said, listen, anybody with mental health problems, anybody with drug and alcohol problems, anyone to do with social services, because I've been through all that. Yeah. I said, I've got a WhatsApp group. No matter who you are, there's probably 40 people in the group. No one knows each other. They only know them from the group. So 2-3 o'clock in the morning, if someone's depressed and down and thinking all kinds of crazy shit, ping the group and somebody will come to your attention. It happened about a week ago. And I praised them. I said, you know what, that's why I opened this WhatsApp group for people who are struggling in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm down, I'm depressed. And then someone else in my group swooped in and went, you all right? And the conversation, the next day I was reading it, I was thinking, fucking hell, man, that's why I do this shit, man.
Jamie, just you doing that, mate.
And I even said I don't have mental health problems. I have mental health problems, but I'm going to put the input because I know they like jail tales, so they come on, and so that goes to anyone else as well. Anyone with mental health problems, anyone with drug and alcohol recovery or problems, anything to do with social services, just give me messages, your number in inbox, I'll put you straight in the WhatsApp group. That goes to anyone in the world who wants to come and jump on and a bit of help.
Yeah. And this wouldn't come about if Jail Tales didn't.
Yeah. Jail Tales is the man.
Jail Tales.
Mr. Jail Tales too.
No, listen, Jamie, I mean, that's fucking brilliant, mate. And I just think you've got to take a lot of credit. You've opened up, and a lot of people sometimes they tell a little bit, but there's a story, and they don't tell the whole truth.
I hit it straight, man. And
I can tell from speaking to you on the phone, speaking to you through WhatsApp, and even speaking to your ear now.
Yeah, I own my shit. I'm a shit. I don't lie. I've done this.
There's nothing to fucking.
But I think because of the things I've done, like the shoeing, the heroin, all through the prison, played for Blackburn Rovers. Like if you're going to go to a kid and try and explain the things you shouldn't do, I've done everything. So and you know what? Yeah, I've been round, and I've say there's 10 teenagers on the market. I'll go over my camera and go, jail today. So they watch me. Kids watch me and listen to me. They 100% watch me and listen. Whether the older people go around doing I did, you're just nosy, blah, blah, blah. At first I was thinking money. But then as soon as people start bringing their problems to me, I've completely switched. Like, fuck the money. I'm trying to help people. Like,
you get something out of it.
I get joy from it. Like, honestly, I get a little bit of a boost and a little bit of confidence when I think, do you know what? You were down yesterday and I sorted that. You're a bit pissed off now and I've covered that for you. Like, and I try doing everything, man. And shout out my WhatsApp group as well. Really, really good set of people.
And how will people, obviously, what we'll do, we can put your details in the description and all that.
Yeah, best off jumping on Instagram and give me a message on Instagram, sending me a number, and I'll put you straight into the WhatsApp group. There's an admin group with 4 people that run my admin group. One from Ireland, one from down south, and one from Midlands. Then I've got probably 20, 30 people in the WhatsApp group that all have a good chat, all put pictures in, all put
Just keep
good
everyone,
people.
keep the
They've all got problems, but like I say, everyone's got problems. But these people, like if they're 3 o'clock in the morning, they've had a drink or whatever, they're down, they ping the group, somebody's going to jump to their attention and go, yo, what's happening? You're right, yeah. But it's happened loads of times. Yeah. Mate, it's happened before already. I know I've made a difference already. No matter what I know, I can show you my message on my inbox. I've made a difference. I've saved people's lives. I know I have.
That's
people message me saying, mate, I was feeling so down and your videos are cheering me up. Honestly, thousands a week I get messages, I swear down. It's mad. And you know what? Sometimes I look and think, oh, but I think, you know what, I've got to cover you, I'm going to try and help you. Like, and I still try and I answer everybody's questions. Yeah. Anyone messages me on my inbox, like people are like, I can't believe you messaged back. I'm like, I'm fucking on my guy for my council state. Why would I not arrested you back, man? Like, you know, because I've got a lot of followers. People think I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm not messaging you. Anyone message me, I'll message you back straight away if I see it.
You're a man with a big ass. I look at it like it's like you say what you're explaining and stuff. But what's in the pipeline for you? What would you know, what you're doing with your WhatsApp group and helping people? What's in the pipeline for Jamie Robinson and Jail Tales?
Just keep doing more of what I'm doing. Keep trying to help people and trying to show people like. But it's a $1 million question. How do you stop a kid from going to gangs into prison? Like, it's the $1 million question. I've been through it in my mind so many times. I can't think of nothing. A boxing club, because it teaches you discipline. That's all I can think of. Like, what could have stopped me when I was younger? Nothing. My boys were my boys, and that was that. Like, so I don't know how kids get out of it nowadays. But
it's like people say parents as well. You know,
parents is massive. It's where you grow up and everything.
Yeah,
it's mad.
Sometimes parents need educating. You know, with like phones and stuff and. Is it fucking do normal, like try and steer them away from this and stuff. And it's hard because you can ask your kids, don't go and do that.
Yeah, my 6-year-old
and then they fucking go and do it because whatever it's the mum or dad, sometimes it's you don't want to scream and shout because they just rebel and go and do it anyway. Do you know what I mean?
My 6-year-old little girl, Delilah, I remember running in about a couple of weeks ago going, I've got a boyfriend called Ryan, and I just felt, who the fuck's Ryan's daddy? I'm going to have a fucking word with this cunt, like, you fucking got a boyfriend. She's 6, that's what I thought. I was thinking, I'm going to find out this cunt's daddy. And we're like, sick. Yeah, she's 6, coming back and saying, oh, my boyfriend's Ryan. I was just like, let me try and find out who Ryan's daddy is.
Oh, fucking hell.
But yeah.
Jamie, listen, I mean, there's any, you know, I think...
Mate, I could sit here and tell you stories all day long, honestly. I could tell you thousands and thousands and thousands of stories. So if you ever want me in the future, we'll go with Jamie, it again anytime, mate.
I just want to say, mate, you know, it's been a very...
Yeah, man.
It's been a roller coaster and you've not held back on nothing. And it's been one of these ones where straight from the off, it was powerful. You just come on with it, mate. There was no little bit blending in. It just went bang straight from the off. And listen, Jamie, I just want to say thank you so much.
I appreciate you, mate.
Listen, man,
let me on it. I've never even been to a studio. I've never seen one of them. I've never seen cameras, lights, this. I've never seen none of this, mate. Like, so when he said to come, I thought, that's sound, we're going to rock up. So, yeah.
Jamie,
I even give me a coffee as well.
Oh, that's sound, mate. There's I could do you another one in a minute, but listen, I just want to say thank you, Jamie, for sharing the good bad.
Appreciate it, man. Of course. Go on. Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Really do. Nice one.
This week's episode is sponsored by Soap Events Limited. They provide soap football, battle tag archery, UV dodgeball, sports days events, inflatable assault courses, plus many, many more activities coming soon. Ideal for sports teams, presentations, birthday parties, stag and hen parties, corporate events, school, and half-term summer camps, any occasions. Give them a follow and use the code The Good, The Bad and The Ugly Podcast for 10% off your first booking. The Good, The Bad and The Ugly Podcast with Tony Morell.